use that to come up to that vehicle so they can use it as cover and concealment to see if there's any additional suspects in here. But this was a massive shootout here back at that location that we showed you earlier. We caught up to the pursuit that just terminated with the shootout as we pulled onto the scene.
Right. Well, this is dramatic live occurrences that are going on right now when it comes to this investigation. It is almost shocking how quickly this is happening after the shooting. We were getting prepared for a long, protracted investigation. Perhaps that's not going to happen right now because this may have come to a conclusion, but let's not jump to conclusions. But what we do know is a dramatic shootout has occurred on the streets just very near where the scene of the shooting. Also, JT has a theory that perhaps that first scene we saw could have been the beginning of a pursuit where the shooting began and then it ended here. I don't know how far away that was, JT, maybe a mile, maybe more than a mile, but this stuff seems to be going down right now and the police response says it all.
Yeah, David, we are just north of San Bernardino Airport right now, and we are about 2 to 3 miles to the northeast. You can see that bear down. Again, I don't want to go in too tight, but you can see that armament we were just talking about, that tactical armament coming in to make sure that suspect is down and not in danger right now. Again, we're about 2 miles to the northeast of the original IRC. Now, directly east of here, about a mile or two due north, is where what we are hearing is a possible officer-involved shooting.
637-6653. We're asking has family that was at this facility call this telephone number first, and the person will advise you where you need to go.
Sergeant, you've got an ongoing tactical
fire situation, right? We've got tactical teams, multiple agencies, one on the east, one on the west. They want to get all these officers here. You can see them all running, trying to get behind, out of the way, so there's not a crossfire situation. They're going to move their way to the north side of the street. This is a crossfire, but they brought them in as quickly as they can. What the angle is right now, they've got a perfect angle to the south and to the east of that suspect vehicle. Okay, right now I've covered up as best we can what we believe is the suspect's body with a tree, and we're going to try to lock it down here. My pilot, Jason, doing an amazing job. So if it gets too graphic, but you can see they are trained on that. They are trained on that car. So we're going to try to hold this area right here, so you can see. There we go. I'm going to show this right now if I can without showing the suspect. You see that to the right of the tree, David Collins? Yeah, that is a long gun. That looks like an HK or an AR type weapon.
Okay.
So we're going to pull back out here. We're not going to show anything else, but right now they're deployed. Okay, very good. We'll stay wide here because we have our second helicopter covering right now.
Okay, this is what's going on right now. Press conference is underway as we speak, but we're going to watch both these scenarios. We don't know if the press conference is going to address this pursuit, but let's listen in.
The number of wounded has increased to 17 at this point. The number of fatalities has remained at 14. We have a telephone number that we would like to provide for people that want to be united with the family that was possibly at the Inland Regional Center today. That telephone number is 800-637-6653. We're asking has family that was at this facility call this telephone number first, and the person will advise you where you need to go.
We are sorry about the audio issues.
Sergeant, you've got an ongoing tactical situation on the road here with a suspect in Officer Hospitality. What do you know about that?
I did hear the radio traffic on that. There is an active scene. I believe there may be a suspect on. It's my understanding that the officer is okay, and I don't have many updates on that other than the officer is okay.
Confirm it's connected to the shooting.
I cannot confirm that at this point. Again, there's a dark-colored SUV involved, and I believe there is one suspect down. It's very active, and we will on that.
Well, you're obviously hearing...
just one scene.
And only one suspect.
Doesn't mean that there aren't more.
That from here.
Probably a couple miles from here.
So, Sergeant, please repeat once again. There is an active scene related possibly to this mass shooting earlier. What is going on?
The only thing I know is there were shots fired, officers were involved, and there is a suspect down. Whether it's related or not, we don't know yet. We will update you as we told you. We will update you on the hour. We'll remain out here, and we will update you as soon as we get any additional, hopefully within the hour.
Were any officers hit in the exchange of gunfire between the suspect and the officers?
I cannot confirm that. I know that all officers are okay. Whether or not they were struck, I don't know.
What led you to this SUV?
I couldn't tell you that at this point either. It's just this is such an active, fluid investigation. There's so many aspects to it, and we just don't have all that information at this time.
Is there a suspect on the run right now?
That I don't know.
Sergeant, is the building clear? We saw these school buses go by. Who was in the buses, and is the building
All right.
clear?
You
I
heard
don't know.
she
It is
doesn't
my
have a lot of
assumption that
information when it comes to
witnesses-
what we are watching right now with Air 7 HD, this pursuit. She did briefly say that she thinks that the officer was not injured. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Or not badly injured?
Exactly. Sergeant Vicky Cervantes was giving us an update, and she did give an update that 17, that number has gone up, 17 wounded, still staying right now, 14 fatalities. Let's go to JT Alba. Live over the scene. JT, tell us what exactly is happening now.
I need to speak clear.
Okay, JT, what do you have for us? I noticed...
Yeah, David, Colleen, I think you may be throwing it to us. We're having some IFB issues here. But here's the situation right now. You see that tactical armament. Those are the Bearcats. They have moved into the front of that vehicle and to the rear of the vehicle. They believe they have an additional suspect in that vehicle right now. They have all their tactical armament there. They're using these vehicles, which are so precious in situations like this. The third Bearcat that you see in the left-hand bottom of the screen near that tree, which is right now covering the body of the suspect that is down with that long rifle, which we showed you earlier, is down, and they have him in custody. Now, we understand that it is a possibility that their suspect is inside that vehicle. Again, we do not know if he's hit or not. They have turrets on top of these armament cars, on top of these Bearcats. You can see, like again, I don't want to get too close, but on top of those there are turrets that they can actually look down and look in, even camera systems that they can look in to see if there's any movement with that suspect. If that suspect's got his hand on a weapon, he may be plain dead, he may be dead, he may be hurt, he may be injured. They're taking all that into consideration in this tactical deployment. These are why these vehicles are so important to these departments. Right now they've got it blocked in the front and blocked in the back. The crossfire situation that we were talking about earlier, all of those officers on that south sidewalk. We are directly south of the San Bernardino airport, and we don't have a street for you right now. I haven't been able to get my eyes on a map. But right now, it's wait and see. Time is on the officer's side right now. That original scene that we showed you, that is what we believe is the original scene, that accident, pursuit, maybe even a shooting. Again, not confirmed that the officer is hit or grazed or not hit at all. But we saw someone laying down who did appear to have a vest on, laying down in the middle of that parking lot with 3 or 4 officers surrounded around him. They didn't appear to be handcuffed. They didn't appear to be guns drawn on. So we don't know if that was an officer or an additional suspect. So we're not going to speculate on that. But as we saw that, the pursuit was continuing on, and the running gun battle was continuing. As we showed you that vehicle when we pushed it a little tighter before, all of those windows on that SUV, a dark-colored SUV, not exactly black, but maybe a dark brown, completely riddled with bullets. The only window that's staying intact right now is the windshield. You see that Bearcat or possibly a Medcat pushing in closer as it pushes westbound right up against that fender of that vehicle. They want to make sure that if that suspect is playing possum, that he cannot move that vehicle or drive that vehicle off. You can see those turrets a little bit more clearly now. And if I get the clear from the booth, I may zoom in tighter, but I'm not going to do that until I get the clear from the booth. To do so, okay, we're not. So we're going to stay there. You can see a canine coming in from the left side. Again, a very important tool. They may send that canine in to actually put bites on the suspect. If he is playing possum, that suspect, the dog will latch onto the suspect and start moving him around. If he's playing possum and he's not dead, he's going to react to that. If he is dead, obviously he won't, and then we'll take considerations for our next move into what they're going to do next. Again, this reminds me of the Dorner incident almost. It just the running gun battle, running around, people looking for the vehicles of the Dorner incident out in this very same area a few years back. This is reminiscent of that. Right now, time again on the officer's side. Tactical deployment, they have concealment, they have cover, they have the weapons, they've got the dogs. So right now, they're just going to wait and see. Right now, at least 2 suspects here that we know. One is down and presumably dead. The other inside and presumably not moving, as far as we know right now, or not complying. We can't get any tighter. So, okay, you can see officers are starting to move a little bit. Again, we don't want to go any tighter because we don't want to show anything that might be disturbing to our audience, which we haven't seen that already. But you can see the officers deployed on the right side of that Bearcat. You saw them lunge forward there for a second. I'm not sure if they've released the dog or not. But right now, again, not a crossfire situation. The officers in that Bearcat that's on the west side, that's the right side behind the vehicle, they have plenty of concealment and cover. So we're going to wrap and throw it back to you guys as we continue to watch this situation.
Yeah, keep the picture up, JT. Continue to observe the situation.
Let's go to Miriam Hernandez right now. She is actually live at the scene of where part of this pursuit took place. Miriam?
Right, and at this point, it is uncertain whether this pursuit is related to the shooting that happened earlier. What we know is that neighbors here are very much on edge after witnessing the end of pursuit right here at 2nd and Allen. Joining me is Pat Hart, who saw this thing unfold. Tell me where you were and what you saw.
Where we was coming from the Carousel Mall over here, and so we had to stop because the police was screaming through to over there, and he jumped out his car, and he ran, and the police pursued him, and they wrestled him to the ground, and it was so many on him until that's just about all I seen.
That's right. We understand that this pursuit suspect, as he was running down the street, as he was gunning it down this street, eluding police, he hit a pickup truck that was loaded with water bottles. There were a number of volunteers who had planned on taking this water to the victims, to the evacuees from the regional center, and in the process got hit very hard by this man in a sports sedan.